We live in a world consumed by social media. We scroll through endless feeds comparing our lives to the highlight reels of others. Social media has become an inescapable part of our daily routines, a digital drug that offers a quick hit of dopamine with every notification. But what is the true cost of this addiction? Are we aware of the invisible forces that shape our online experiences? We must peel back the layers and expose the hidden puppet master controlling our online lives. Social media has revolutionized the way we communicate and consume information. It has connected us globally, broken down barriers, and given a voice to the voiceless. We can access news, entertainment, and educational content with unprecedented ease. Social media has empowered us to share our passions and build communities, but with great power comes great responsibility. The same tools that connect us can also manipulate and exploit. Algorithms designed to keep us engaged often do so at the expense of our privacy and mental well-being. Enter the algorithm, the unseen force that orchestrates our social media experiences. Every click, like, comment, and share is tracked and analyzed to create a personalized echo chamber. The algorithm exploits our desire for connection and validation, feeding us content to keep us scrolling. It reinforces our existing beliefs and shields us from dissenting viewpoints. This constant bombardment can distort our perception of reality. We risk becoming trapped in echo chambers, isolated from alternative perspectives. Imagine this. You're browsing online unaware that a silent observer is taking notes. Every click, scroll, and pause is recorded and analyzed by the algorithm. It's like having a personal stalker, bombarding you with targeted ads and content. They track your every move across the digital landscape, knowing what you like, dislike, and what makes you tick. The Art of Seduction: How Algorithms Keep You Hooked. Social media platforms are businesses, and their product is our attention. They exploit our deepest desires for connection, validation, and novelty. Algorithms dangle tantalizing content in front of us, like digital carrots on a stick. They know just the right buttons to push to keep us coming back for more. Data Mining 101. You are the product. In the world of social media, we are not the customers, we are the product. Our data is collected, packaged, and sold to the highest bidder. It's a cycle of addiction, where we're constantly being mined for our data to keep us hooked. The filter bubble, living in a world of our own making. Social media algorithms create a distorted view of the world, tailored to our perceived interests. We become so accustomed to our narrow lens that we lose the ability to empathize with different views. This can lead to increased polarization and a breakdown of civil discourse. The algorithmic echo chamber, where dissent goes to die. In these digital echo chambers, misinformation and propaganda can flourish unchecked. Algorithms often prioritize sensationalized content over factual reporting. We must develop critical thinking skills to discern fact from fiction. Finding your tribe. The power of connection. Social media isn't all doom and gloom. It can be a powerful tool for connection. It brings together people who share common interests, passions, and struggles. It's like a giant virtual mixer, where you can connect with folks who speak your language. You've found your tribe, your online haven where you can geek out without judgment. Social media can transform niche hobbies into thriving online communities. Shared passions, shared spaces, from knitting needles to Comic Cons. Social media transforms niche hobbies into thriving online communities. These communities offer a sense of belonging and a place to connect with fellow enthusiasts. Online connections can translate into real-world friendships and experiences. You might find yourself attending a Comic Con with your online gaming buddies or swapping recipes with your virtual baking club. Life can be tough, and sometimes all you need is a listening ear. Social media can be a lifeline for those struggling with loneliness or facing challenges. Online support groups offer a safe space to connect with others who share similar experiences. These spaces provide validation and remind us that we're not alone in our struggles. Social media has democratized learning, making it accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Educational content is just a click away, from explainer videos to in-depth documentaries. Social media platforms have become virtual classrooms, connecting us with experts and fellow learners. We can engage in discussions, challenge our assumptions, and expand our understanding of the world. Social media can be a powerful catalyst for social change. It raises awareness about important issues and mobilizes communities around shared causes. Social media has the power to connect, inform, and inspire us to action. It's up to us to wield it responsibly and ethically. Picture this: you're at a dinner party surrounded by people who nod along to your every opinion. In the world of social media, this idyllic echo chamber is often our default setting. Algorithms curate our online experiences to keep us engaged, often filtering out opposing viewpoints. They feed us information that confirms our existing biases, creating a comfortable bubble. This constant reinforcement can have unsettling consequences. One of the sneakiest things about algorithmic echo chambers is the illusion of choice. We feel like we're in control, making conscious decisions about the information we consume, but those choices are often pre-selected for us by algorithms. This narrowing of our perspectives can impact our understanding of the world. We become less likely to encounter diverse viewpoints and more susceptible to misinformation. Humans are hardwired to seek out information that confirms their existing beliefs. Social media platforms indulge our desire for confirmation, feeding us content that aligns with our beliefs. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle of bias confirmation. We become less likely to question our assumptions and more entrenched in our echo chambers. Algorithms act as diligent architects, ensuring that no dissenting opinions penetrate our walls. One of the most concerning consequences of algorithmic echo chambers is the potential for increased polarization. When we're constantly exposed to information that confirms our biases and rarely encounter opposing viewpoints, it's easy to fall into the trap of us versus them thinking. We start to see the world through a binary lens, dividing people into two camps: those who agree with us and those who don't. Nuance is lost, empathy dwindles, and civil discourse becomes a distant memory. We retreat further into our ideological silos, lobbing insults and accusations across the digital divide, convinced of our own righteousness and the inherent wrongness of the other side. This polarization can have real-world consequences, eroding trust in institutions, fueling social unrest, and making it increasingly difficult to find common ground on complex issues. It's a dangerous game, and algorithms, in their quest for engagement, are often the unwitting, or perhaps witting, facilitators. So, how do we break free from the clutches of the algorithmic echo chamber? How do we reclaim our digital autonomy and cultivate a more balanced and informed worldview? It's not easy, but it's definitely possible with some effort. Here are a few tips to get you started. First, diversify your information diet. Make a conscious effort to follow a variety of sources, including those that challenge your existing beliefs. Seek out perspectives from different political leanings, cultural backgrounds, and lived experiences. Think of it like adding some vegetables to your online dessert buffet. Second, question your assumptions. Don't believe everything you read, see, hear, or retweet. Develop a healthy skepticism towards information, especially if it confirms your existing biases. Fact-check, cross-reference, and consult multiple sources before forming an opinion. Third, engage in respectful dialogue. Yes, even with people you disagree with. Remember that behind every screen is a real person with their own unique experiences and perspectives. Listen with an open mind, ask clarifying questions, and try to understand where they're coming from, even if you don't agree with their conclusions. Fourth, be mindful of your own biases. We all have them, so acknowledge them, challenge them, and don't be afraid to change your mind when presented with new information. Think of it like a mental spring cleaning, dusting off those cobwebs of ingrained beliefs. Finally, take control of your algorithms. Most social media platforms allow you to adjust your privacy settings, limit data collection, and customize your feed preferences. Take the time to explore these options and reclaim some control over the information you're exposed to. It's time to take responsibility for our own online experiences. Let's stop being passive consumers of curated content and become active participants in shaping a more informed, diverse, and nuanced digital landscape. The future of our online discourse and perhaps even our democracy depends on it.
Breaking news.
Remember the good old days when you got your news once a day, neatly packaged in a 30-minute broadcast by a reassuringly authoritative anchorman with impeccable hair? Back then, news was a serious business, a public service delivered with a healthy dose of gravitas and a strict adherence to journalistic ethics. Walter Cronkite wouldn't be caught dead chasing clicks with a salacious headline. Fast forward to the age of the internet, where the news cycle spins faster than a hamster on a wheel, fueled by a relentless demand for instant updates, and a constant stream of breaking news alerts that leave us feeling more anxious than informed. The 24/7 news cycle, coupled with the rise of social media as a primary source of information, has created a perfect storm of sensationalism, where clicks are king and substance is often sacrificed at the altar of engagement. The pressure to be first, to break the story, to capture the fleeting attention of a distracted online audience has led to a decline in journalistic rigor, a blurring of the lines between fact and opinion, and a prioritization of speed over accuracy. It's like a game of digital hot potato, where the news is tossed from one platform to another, often losing crucial context and nuance along the way, leaving us with fragmented pieces of information. In the attention economy of the internet, outrage is a valuable commodity. Fear, anger, and indignation are powerful motivators, driving clicks, shares, and engagement at an alarming rate. And like any savvy business, the news media, both traditional and online, has taken notice, adapting their strategies to capitalize on our collective appetite for outrage. Headlines scream for our attention, often resorting to hyperbole, emotional manipulation, and outright fear-mongering to capture those precious clicks. Nuance is sacrificed for the sake of brevity, complex issues are reduced to simplistic sound bites, and dissenting voices are often drowned out by the chorus of outrage. The problem is this constant barrage of outrage, both real and manufactured, has a corrosive effect on our collective psyche. It creates a climate of fear and mistrust, erodes our ability to engage in civil discourse, and makes it increasingly difficult to distinguish between genuine problems that require our attention and manufactured controversies designed to boost ratings and generate ad revenue. The internet has undoubtedly democratized information, giving rise to citizen journalists, independent media outlets, and a cacophony of voices challenging the traditional gatekeepers of news. But this democratization has come at a cost, blurring the lines between professional journalism held to ethical standards and the wild west of online content creation, where anyone with a keyboard and an opinion can claim the mantle of journalist. Clickbait headlines designed to entice rather than inform have become ubiquitous, promising shocking revelations and scandalous exposés that rarely deliver on their hyperbolic promises. The pursuit of virality often trumps the pursuit of truth, as content creators prioritize shareability over accuracy, knowing that a sensationalized story, even if it's later debunked, can generate more traffic and revenue than a well-researched piece based on verifiable facts. This erosion of journalistic integrity is not limited to the fringes of the internet. Even established news organizations facing declining readership and fierce competition from online outlets have been known to prioritize sensationalism over substance, sacrificing their hard-earned credibility for a slice of the attention economy pie. As if the 24/7 news cycle and the commodification of outrage weren't enough, we also have algorithms working behind the scenes, shaping our perception of the news and reinforcing our existing biases. These digital puppet masters, in their quest to keep us engaged, often prioritize content that aligns with our worldview, filtering out dissenting voices and creating a distorted reality bubble where our own beliefs are amplified and opposing viewpoints are conveniently silenced. We become trapped in echo chambers of our own making, surrounded by information that confirms our existing biases, whether those biases are political, social, or cultural in nature. The algorithms, ever eager to please, feed us a steady diet of content that reinforces our worldview, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of confirmation bias where we're less likely to question our assumptions and more likely to dismiss opposing viewpoints as inherently wrong or even dangerous. This algorithmic distortion field is a breeding ground for misinformation, propaganda, and conspiracy theories, all masquerading as legitimate news sources. the lines between fact and fiction become increasingly blurred, and our ability to discern truth from falsehood is compromised by the constant bombardment of information tailored to our existing biases. Section 5. Navigating the minefield: critical thinking in the age of information overload. So, how do we navigate this minefield of misinformation, outrage, and algorithmic manipulation? How do we become discerning consumers of news, capable of separating fact from fiction, identifying bias and forming our own informed opinions? The answer, as with most things in life, lies in cultivating critical thinking skills. We need to approach information with a healthy dose of skepticism, questioning our own biases, seeking out diverse perspectives, and evaluating sources for credibility and accuracy. We need to be wary of headlines that pander to our emotions, be skeptical of information that confirms our existing beliefs, and be willing to change our minds when presented with compelling evidence. Critical thinking in the digital age is not a passive activity, it's an active process of engagement, evaluation, and discernment. It's about being aware of our own biases, seeking out diverse perspectives, and questioning the information we encounter, both online and offline. It's about recognizing that the truth is often complex, nuanced, and rarely found in the echo chambers of our own making. Section 1. Reclaiming our digital autonomy. We've journeyed through the intricate workings of social media's hidden puppet master, the algorithm, exposing its uncanny ability to shape our online experiences, often without our conscious awareness. We've explored both the alluring and alarming aspects of this digital landscape, from the power of connecting with like-minded individuals and accessing a wealth of information to the dangers of echo chambers, misinformation, and the commodification of outrage. Now, it's time to reclaim our digital autonomy, to step out from behind the curtain of algorithmic manipulation and take control of our online interactions. It's time to shift from passive consumers of curated content to active participants in shaping a more informed, discerning, and responsible digital culture. The first step in this process is awareness. By understanding how algorithms work, how our data is collected and used, and how our online experiences are being shaped by these invisible forces, we can start to make more conscious choices about how we engage with social media. Section 2. The power of discernment. Knowledge is power, but in the age of information overload, discernment is paramount. We are bombarded with a constant stream of data, opinions, and perspectives, all vying for our attention. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to succumb to the allure of clickbait headlines, or to retreat into the comfort of echo chambers where our existing beliefs are reinforced. But it's precisely in this chaotic landscape that critical thinking becomes our most valuable tool. By cultivating our ability to evaluate information, to identify bias, to separate fact from fiction, and to form our own informed opinions, we can navigate the digital world with greater confidence and autonomy. This means questioning our own assumptions, challenging our own biases, and seeking out diverse perspectives. It means being wary of information that confirms our existing beliefs and being open to changing our minds when presented with compelling evidence. Section 3. A call to conscious engagement. Reclaiming our digital autonomy is not about abandoning social media altogether. It's about engaging with these platforms in a more conscious, discerning, and responsible manner. It's about recognizing that social media is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. We can choose to curate our own online experiences, to follow a diverse range of voices, to engage in respectful dialogue with those who hold different viewpoints, and to use our platforms to amplify important causes and challenge injustice. The future of our digital landscape, and perhaps even our democracy, depends on our collective ability to think critically, to engage responsibly, and to reclaim our digital autonomy from the clutches of the algorithm. Let's choose to be informed, discerning, and engaged citizens of the digital age.